I worked on mindset.
A miracle mindset is your VIP card to anywhere.
Change your mindset.
Want success? Model the best. Hey, it's Evan Carmichael. This channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you as well. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So today, let's learn one of the most common rules that successful people follow: change your mindset.
Once you understand the whole reason to acquire a skill is that it gives you power. Now I'm going to define power. Power to me is the ability to close your eyes and imagine a world, the world the way you wish it was, and then open your eyes and make that world come true. That's power. And the thing that stands between you, where you are today, and your goals, where you want to get, is a gap in skill set. It is a gap in abilities. And once you're willing to look nakedly at your inadequacies, to literally build your self-esteem, your entire sense of self-worth and value is built around one thing. Whenever you face an obstacle, whenever you face a difficulty, whenever you fail, you have one thing that you say to yourself: on a long enough timeline, I can learn this. When you switch your life around to that, whatever your goal is here, whatever part of the honors club or the leading edge you're at, or if you want to go beyond that, whatever that is, wherever you want to go, plant that flag, identify the skills that you would need to get there, and then set about every day getting those skills.
How many hands work somewhere but want to do their own thing? Raise your hands. More than half this audience. Meanwhile, let me tell you why most of the hands that just went up will never get there. They buy dumb shit. Do you know how many people here literally drive cars to impress people that they hate? People literally going in debt or getting further from leaving the job they don't like to do something that will make them happy because they have to buy a certain car that has a logo that impresses people that they despise. Do you understand how up that is? Do you know how many people here live in homes where they don't use more than half the rooms in the house? Like, we are so fundamentally in a vortex that makes no sense that I am unbelievably passionate understanding how much money you make and what you can do to get off of it. But the problem is, again, people are doing so many things to keep up with the Joneses, to make it look like they're successful, to appease their parents, and a million other things that have nothing to do with themselves. And we need to change that game.
Spanx started way before I cut the feet out of my pantyhose. That's the soundbite in the press that everybody's talked about for almost 20 years. But it actually started fundamentally on when I was 16. I worked on mindset for myself, and I'm such a believer in mindset is almost everything. And it just happened to be a set of circumstances. I was riding my bike with one of my best friends at 16, and she was run over by a car and killed in front of me. And then a few months later, my dad left home, and my parents separated and ultimately got divorced. And when my dad moved out, he came into my bedroom and he handed me a cassette tape series called How to Be a No Limit Person by Dyer. And he said, "Sweetie, I wish I discovered this when I was your age instead of the age of 40. And then he moved out. And so I started listening to this How to Be a No Limit Person, which was talking about visualization, law of attraction, not caring about what other people think about you, the fear, not being consumed by the fear of failure. And it just, the clouds parted for me, and I thought, I've spent a lot of time being taught what to think, but no one's really teaching me how to think. And at 16, that was so incredibly important. So in this digital platform, it's kind of passing on a lot of these insights that deal with mindset that I think is the real reason that Spanx exists.
I'm in this sort of down period, and
Sean invites me to the studio in LA. Now we both live in LA, so I go to the studio, and this guy's just like glowing. You know, in his career, after like years of stagnation, his career is taking off. He's got his first hit. And he's one at this, like when I saw him in the studio, he was one of those guys where you just felt good being around him. So I went back to the studio the next day with him. I go, what's going on with you? What's up with you? He's like, you gotta read these 2 books. The first one was The Alchemist, and the second one was Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, which is like kind of out there, that book, but it's all about the law of attraction. And Sean, I don't know if he still does, but he used to carry it with him everywhere.
Whoa.
And his like the cover was all like worn, and like it's a serious book, and it's about basically you get what you think about, and that I think that really set me off. So I started like exploring different belief systems, and I still am. And I always believed I was gonna have another like wave in the music industry during that time. I'd visualize like playing on Jimmy Fallon, you know? And then like a year or 2 later, I was on Jimmy Fallon playing.
Also, if you want to learn to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join are in the description below.
I don't cheat on my wife. I don't cheat on my customers. I don't cheat people. I don't cut corners. If I can't do something, I'll tell you up front. If I screw up, I'll tell you.
You have to go build self-confidence.
When I was selling copiers door to door, I had a very clear vision of what my life was going to be like.
I'm going to give you the most important strategy that the next time you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling defeated, you're feeling like giving up, will save you and help you find that inner strength and next gear. Here it is. Tell yourself it's the best. The next time you're feeling down, frustrated, depressed, angry, tell yourself it's the best. Because now this is your chance to show yourself and the world what you're made of. The next time you're stuck at a red light and you're frustrated and complaining, it's the best. The next time you're working out and you feel like you're on your last set and your lungs are on fire and you can't push again, it's the best. The next time you're frustrated in business that you're not getting the sales you need and you feel like you're waking up every day and there's no momentum, it's the best. It's the best. This is your chance. This is your chance. You can complain for 7.5 seconds and get frustrated and then tweak it inside your brain to say, this is the best. Why? What does it do? First, it switches your mindset to one of hopelessness to one of resourcefulness. It switches your mindset from one of hopelessness, that this sucks, that I'm giving up, I'm defeated, it's over. Why is this happening to me? Why does this suck? To one of resourcefulness, that this is the best. This is my chance, because you grow through challenges, and this is the next challenge in front of me that I am going to grow through.
That first day, you know, I literally land there after all this planning, all this preparation, media, press, storytelling around this, and I get out there, I put my sled and I strap in the first day, and like, I can't pull my sled. Like, I'm like, I mean, I can move it a little bit, but not in any sort of sustainable way at all. And a little bit of context in the story is that another British explorer actually was attempting this crossing at the exact same time. Not like sort of at the same time, like literally we were dropped off 1 mile equidistance away from each other. So not only racing history, but now we're racing each other head to head because the logistics are so complex that it meant we literally had to take the same plane to the same drop off point on the same day, like ready, go. And so, you know, he's this sort of, you know, grizzled polar veteran, older than me, but way more experienced than me as well. He's crossed more, you know, miles in Antarctica than any living explorer pulling a sled. And on that first day, I can barely pull my sled. And this is Captain Lou. I see him on the horizon, just like chilling, just like taking off, just like he's like smooth ski stroke day one, like looking behind me like, oh, this kid he can't even move on the first day. And so that question, like, we are the stories we tell ourselves. What do I tell myself in that moment? Do I go like, wow, I am an epic failure. I'm alone in Antarctica. My competition is way more prepared than me. What did I get myself into? You called your project the impossible first, duh. Like I literally pick up the satellite phone to call Jenna, my wife. She knows, you know, she's in the details of the whole project plans with me. She's like, why are you calling me so soon? You just got out there. And I'm like, so it seems like we named our project the right thing. It appears that it's impossible. And she's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I can't really pull this sled. So to me, it's that moment And I think we have a lot of these moments, both in the large sense in this case, or many millions ones throughout the day, small decisions of you get to choose how to act in that moment. What I've realized is our minds are flooded with doubt. We're flooded with fear. We're flooded with setbacks, right? But in those moments, like, we actually get to choose. And I've realized, to me, I say the only question that truly matters when facing those kind of obstacles is how will we respond? I'm literally crying at this moment. When it's minus 25, what happens when you cry? Your tears freeze to your face. It's a pathetic sight, like, all around. But I said to myself, and actually with the guidance of Jenna, who's certainly been, a huge guiding force to me, if I haven't mentioned her enough already, I'll continue to, is she goes, look, how far away are you from the first waypoint? And, on my GPS, I've got these markings on the map. And at the time, I'm like, I'm 0.54 miles away from the first, there's millions of miles. She's like, okay, so you're half a mile away from the first waypoint. Forget about the 1,000-mile journey. Forget about Captain Lou that's already beating you in this race. Forget about the media, the press, the students falling all in the classrooms. Forget about that. You need to set an incremental step right there. Half a mile, I can see for 10 miles. So I can literally see the point that I'm trying to go half a mile. She's like, get to the first waypoint. That will make it feel like you've made some sort of progress around this. Forget about tomorrow, forget about the next day. And to me, that was just that mindset shift. So instead of, two things, the story I tell myself wasn't, you're a failure, you always knew this wasn't gonna go right. It was like, oh, I'm the type of person that does hard things to push myself and learn. And I know it's going to be hard. In fact, I know I'm on the edge of failure, an inch from failure a lot of the time. But that's when I thrive, because I can lean into my support system. I can reprogram in my mind, tell myself a different story. So the story that I told myself that day was like, oh, you're the guy who's gonna make it to the first waypoint today. And then tomorrow morning, we're gonna figure out tomorrow. And that's kind of where the journey began. Not in the way I hoped it would start, but in a way that forced me to really start learning and growing right out of the gate.
A miracle mindset is your VIP card to anywhere. I get in anywhere because of my miracle mindset. When you get a miracle mentality, it is your VIP card anywhere.
What is a miracle mindset?
You cannot be stopped. Everybody has a mindset. A mindset is a point of view, the way you see things. So people could look at what's happening with government shutdown and all these things and get all nervous. A miracle mindset says, that's going on, but my God is greater. So a miracle is supernatural. It's uncommon. It's not regular. So when you have a mindset of a miracle mindset, your perspective is always God will make a way where there was no way. A miracle mindset, again, is your VIP pass anywhere. You cannot be stopped with the right mindset.
Every miracle in the Bible has one thing in common, just one thing in common. Trust me on this, I've studied it. The only thing in common, every miracle in the Bible begins with a problem. You never see a miracle in the Bible without a problem first. There's a problem and then a miracle. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is that when you have a problem, you're blessed because you're a candidate for a miracle. You see, the only person that has a problem is the person that doesn't have a problem. You see, if you have a little problem, you're a candidate for a little miracle. If you got a big problem, you're a candidate for a big miracle. Choose the problem and choose the miracle. But if you have no problem, you're not a candidate for a miracle. I feel badly for you.
Hey, I don't know who made that video, and I don't want to oversimplify the subject, but I'll tell you from somebody who's been poor and I've been rich, that perception is everything. What you perceive to be impossible, you will never even attempt, and it will become harder and harder. What you perceive to be easy will become easier and easier. And the reason the rich stay richer is because they've seen someone else do it, maybe their parents or a mentor. And the reason the poor stay poor is they've never seen it done, so it seems impossible. Change your mindset, change your bank account, trust me.
There are very few words that bless my soul as a believer like the following three. Everything must go. Those words bless me, not just because of the reason that I found when studying, but when I see them on a store, it speaks to me that God is really looking out for my finances in this season. Said, God, I prayed for savings and you put my favorite store on sale. How great is your mercy towards me. Everything must go. And that used to make me so excited because I knew that when I walked into the store that they would be willing to discount even further items that I had been waiting to get for a very long time. And so when I went home and I told my husband that I finally got something that I'd been looking for, I could tell him, but honey, it was on sale. And so we saved money. I didn't spend money. Now that I am a business owner, though, I realize that when they put those words outside of the store, it's not just because they want to bless my spirit. Which is fascinating. They actually do that because they have new inventory coming in. And because they have new inventory coming in, they have to get rid of everything that is no longer profitable so that that which is profitable can take its place. What if we, as believers, started to treat our life with that same level of philosophy? That we looked within ourselves and said, everything must go that is no longer profitable, so that that which is profitable can come in. How much powerful would we be if we looked at our bitterness and said, no, you can't stay because you're taking that place where my joy could be? What if we looked at our misery and said, no, you can't stay because you're taking up space where my purpose could be? What if we started to say, depression, you can't stay here. Joy is in your place. You got to make room and everything must go. This is a mindset that we should have. Everything must go. I won't be satisfied with this message until you leave here desperate to clear out anything that's taking up unprofitable space down on the inside of you. Anytime a negative thought starts rising up, until you say everything must go. God, renew my mind and give me a mind like Christ. I can't afford to have this stinking thinking any longer. I'm trying to press towards the mark and I can't do it thinking like the same girl I used to be. Everything's gotta go. Everything's gotta go. Every hater, every doubt, every fear, every insecurity, depression, loose my mind. Did you know that you have authority to roll up on your own depression? Can I get a little hood at elevation for a minute? That you can roll up on your own issues and say, devil, I've had enough. You can't have me any longer. Who the Son has set free by God, I take authority over my mind. I take authority over my situation. Loose my child and let him go. Let go of my husband in the name of Jesus.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Kawhi Leonard on how to have a champion's mindset that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. What is the most important mindset shift that you need to make? Number 2. How can you incorporate a new routine or habit around that mindset shift into your daily routine? And number 3, who can hold you accountable if you start slipping back to your old mindset? Now, if you promise to take action after watching this video, give me a #believe down in the comments as well.
You know, a lot of our games this year came down to this last stretch. Fortunately, I didn't able to help us every time, but with me, it's just my mindset, just being able to still take the last shot or, you know, take the shots that are big down the stretch. It doesn't bother me if I miss or make it. So I'll just keep going. And, you know, I think the next one always going to go in.
You can't just have a standard education. If you want to learn why, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Constant, never-ending improvement.
Improve yourself. You can learn anything.